Good morning. My name is Joanne Bunch, and today I will be giving an informative speech on dyslexia. And this morning we have joining us Mr. Toronto McLeod. Good morning, Mr. McLeod.
Good morning. How are y'all?
And we also have Miss Deborah Colbreth on video chat with us. Good morning, Miss Colbreth.
Good morning.
Okay. Today, I would like to inform y'all about dyslexia, the symptoms, the causes, and the ways to help people with dyslexia. Does anyone here today truly know what dyslexia is? According to an October 2011 article in the Age newspaper by journalist Elizabeth Tarsia, every 2 and 3 school children have dyslexia. As it is pretty likely that you will encounter a coworker, a friend, or even have a child with dyslexia someday. Today, I want to take a few minutes to share with you some of the symptoms and causes of dyslexia. I will also offer some tips on how to help people with this disorder. Dyslexia is a learning disorder that involves difficulty reading and having problems with speech, sounds, and learning how to relate words. Dyslexia is also called a reading disorder, and it affects areas of the brain that processes language. Even though current theories of dyslexia are biological or cognitive levels of explanation, the predominant common account of dyslexia views the primary causes as a phonological processing impairment. According to hypothesis, children with dyslexia have phonological deficits that cause a wide range of symptoms, and not all of which are directly related causally to the reading deficits, which are verbal, short-term memory problems, and word-finding difficulties. As far as is known, such symptoms are equally common among children learning to read in all languages. There is now clear evidence that difficulties is a complex skill influenced both by dyslexia and usually is not diagnosed very early in the child's life because children are not expected to learn to read until about the age of 6 years old. When a parent or a teacher recognizes that there is a problem, these children should be referred to the doctor for a thorough physical examination. Physicians can run various tests, including vision and hearing tests, to rule out other problems. Doctors can also do neurological exams to measure how well the difficult parts of the nervous system are working. However, when children with dyslexia start school, they may have a hard time keeping up with other classmates. Words and letters may appear much differently to a person with dyslexia than to a person without it. Sometimes words look all jammed up together, whereas at other times there seem to be spaces between words where they do not belong. Because the skill of reading goes along with the skill of writing, children with dyslexia often have a difficult time learning to write, to spell, and even to speak correctly. There may be even several letters that look upside down to them. Letters that look similar may confuse such children when they try to work. If dyslexia is suspected, the physician may enlist the help of a specialist in learning disabilities. The specialist can administer tests to figure out how the child's brain processes information. The child may also take an intelligence quotient test as well as an academic achievement test that assesses reading and writing skills. Sometimes children also take tests to assess their abilities in other areas such as math, logic, creative thinking. A person may fail to read completely or competently, or a person may have become competently at reading and then lose some of their reading ability because of brain damage. The main symptoms of the phonological deficit in dyslexia include poor phonological awareness, poor verbal short-term memory, and slow lexical retrieval in children due to heredity factors that affect brain development. There are different ways to monitor a child's dyslexia progress in the classroom. There are curriculum-based monitoring tests in which the teacher uses standardized tests that includes materials presented. This test includes observation and interaction, frequently evaluations, and formative tests. These tools track a child's reading progress. The most common way to track progress is to carefully observe the child's performance during reading instruction. Dyslexia affects 5% of school-age children. About 4 out of every 5 children with dyslexia are boys. The disorder affects all races equally and is most common. It is the most common type of learning disability. Dyslexia is a lifelong development condition, and it's a hidden disability characterized by a range of difficulties, which often include literacy, short-term memory, sequencing, and personal organization. Low confidence and low self-esteem are most frequently associated with dyslexia. These difficulties are more present from childhood but can be acquired as a result of injury or trauma. Now that you know the many symptoms as well as the causes associated with this disorder, with so many children being diagnosed with dyslexia and numerous adults discovering that they have had this disorder all their lives, it is a good skill to have and be able to recognize the symptoms and provide support to people with dyslexia. Keeping this in mind, I hope all of you here today are leaving here today with the ability to help a dyslexic person if you happen to run across them in your lives. Thank you very much. How did you like my speech, Miss Colbert?
Very informative. I didn't know all the symptoms of dyslexia.
Mr. McLeod?
I think you put it out quite well.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.